Hey guys, Simpson2142 here, and today we're going to be talking about Sombra and how she can be used in competitive play. Now, it goes without saying that in her current stage, Sombra is an incredibly difficult hero to master in Overwatch. Arguably the most difficult hero to master in Overwatch, and as a result she is rarely seen at all in competitive play, both at the lower levels and the pro levels. And if she is picked by you or a teammate, you can guarantee to get a lot of backlash for doing so. Now, Blizzard have noticed this and even put a response out addressing the issue. Surprisingly, they said they will not be giving Sombra any buffs for now, and want to instead give us more time to see if we can figure out how to play her. Well, that kind of suggests that from what Blizzard have seen, we, the players, have not been using her quite right and therefore haven't recognised her full potential. So that obviously begs the question, how should we be playing Sombra? Well, as you can see in the background, I tried, but it didn't really succeed well. I mean, sure, we won the round, but I was definitely being carried by my team and probably could have contributed more as another hero. But fear not, what I do have is some stream footage from a pro player, Navi, who is playing Sombra on Iconworld. And from what you're going to see, he does a pretty strong job with her. What we're going to do is have a look at what he does and why he does it. I will leave a link to this video down below so you guys can view it without me babbling over it, as it's also worth listening to how he communicates with his teammates in the process. Right, let us begin. Okay, the first thing Navi does is spring towards the health pack and instantly hacks it. This hack will last for 60 seconds and it does three things. 1. The health pack will respawn a lot quicker for your allied teammates. Small health packs in 2.5 seconds and large health packs in 3.75 seconds. 2. The health pack cannot be picked up by enemies. And 3. Every time your team uses the health pack, you will gain ultimate. Having a hacked health pack by a choke point is a sure way to gain ult fast. You'll notice how he then immediately throws down Sombra's beacon, which will have him teleported back to that location so long as he hits the beacon key within 15 seconds of deploying it. He then activates his stealth ability to sneak his way through the choke point. Risky, as if Sombra takes any damage, she is revealed to the enemy. But he pulls it off, immediately sprints to the back line to locate their healers, finds the Ana, catches her off guard and quickly melts her with close-ranged headshots. Not only does this now make the fight a 6v5, but it also robs the enemy of their primary healer. He continues to create a bit of harassment but quickly teleports back to his beacon to avoid the risk of dying. There he can now offer some damage support for the rest of the team. Notice how he communicates with the rest of the team, informing them the healer is down and who he has hacked. This is critical information. When an enemy is hacked, they are temporarily unable to use their abilities and ultimates. So, for example, Zarya, this means that she is unable to use her bubble shields, so it encourages everyone to immediately focus her down. Having done that, the rest of his team now pushes forward and they easily take the first point. Okay, so now, like before, Navi places down his beacon and uses his invisibility to sprint through the enemy's front line. Now he once again tries to focus down the healers, doesn't get the kill, but does cause the distraction, forcing the enemy to fight in two different battles. Now that he has his ultimate charged, he teleports back to his team to coordinate when he's going to use it. Sombra, despite her apparent weaknesses, could arguably have the most powerful ultimate in the game. Any enemies caught within her EMP blast will temporarily lose all abilities, and their stats revealed such as ult charge, but more crucially, it will take down enemy shields and barriers, including Reinhardt's shield. But due to Sombra's weak damage output, the ultimate is only as deadly as the ability of your team to exploit it. This is why Navi not only announces his ultimate is ready, but also gives the team a countdown so he knows they are ready for it. The effects of Sombra's ult only last for 6 seconds, so every second is critical. Notice how after Navi has deployed his ult, he is still relaying crucial information to the team, letting them know that Mei already has an ult and that they should prioritize her as the next target. As you can see, the team coordinate brilliantly and make easy pickings of the entire enemy team. Notice again how Navi places his beacon before charging into the enemy, giving him a quick way out should things not be going into his favour. You'll also notice how he tends to place it next to a health pack. Once again, he charges through the enemy front lines to focus on the healers in the back, and although he may not be killing the healers, he is offering them a distraction. When the Ana's focusing her firepower on Navi, she is also neglecting to pump out heals to the rest of her team. At the moment, Navi isn't essentially going for kills, but rather just pumping out splashes of damage in order to charge his ultimate, constantly relaying to his teammates the status of his ult charge.
Be careful or you'll get burned. Wait, I thought I hacked her, dude. 95% for Sombra. They have,
Now with his charge ready, he once again tries to organise the attack with the rest of his team, once again providing the countdown so his team know exactly when to strike.
3, 2, 1, impede.
And though not as successful as his first ultimate, it was still enough for his team to win the fight and get the payload moving forward. And you'll see Navi then implementing the routine strategy, throwing down his beacon, sprinting past the DPS and tanks in the front line in order to pick off the weaker healers at the back.
You're not safe in spawn.
Now this is an interesting move. Navi this time throws his beacon behind the enemy lines, enabling him to teleport straight there, rather than risk getting detected through sprinting through the tight choke point, where he once again targets the Ana, and though not killing her, he is still distracting her from her job. Once again, he gains his ult, and decides to back off, informing his team so they can ready another push. Now you do see Navi make a bit of an error here. Having used up his stealth and beacon, he has no easy way to get out of a fight. And because of Sombra's low health and weak damage, she cannot often win one-to-ones with anyone. And so Navi is quickly and promptly dealt with. But after respawning, Navi rejoins his group and once again starts coordinating when to use his ultimate for the final push, given the 3, 2, 1 countdown.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, now. Impede.
Now this time it doesn't go quite so well, most notably in the fact that the enemy was ready for him, and so as he leapt into the air to deploy his ultimate, the enemy team also deployed theirs before they got hacked. So once again, he deploys the beacon by a health pack, hacks the health pack and informs his teammates. Now, I think at this stage, Navi is just trying to charge his ultimate. He doesn't really target anyone in particular, but rather gets as much damage dealt as possible before teleporting out. This here is an interesting thing to note. When he hacks the Genji, he makes a big call out to his team. As with Genji hacked, he cannot use his deflect ability, and so makes him an incredibly squishy target, to which the team easily deal with him. Now Navi gets his charge back up, immediately tells his team he's using it, no countdown, just get in there and mess stuff up. Tells them to focus down the Zarya as she has her ultimate ready. They clear out the enemy and secure the payload. And it's a good game. So, what have we learnt from watching Navi's gameplay? Well, first we can see that Sombra can certainly be a force to be reckoned with if played right. Her basic strategy involves hacking a health pack, planting down your beacon by the hacked health pack, running through to the enemy's back lines, and trying to take out the healers. If you can't take out the healers, try to output as much damage and distraction as possible in order to feed your ultimate charge. As we mentioned before, Sombra has an incredibly powerful ultimate, easily enabling the rest of your team to clear out the enemy in seconds. And whereas there are other powerful ultimates in the game, like Zarya's Graviton Surge for example, they can be easily stopped and countered. A Reinhardt shield, a Winston bubble, or even a Zenyatta ult can make Zarya ultimates useless. But Sombra has no counter. If she manages to catch the entire enemy in her EMP radius, they cannot deploy shields and they cannot deploy ults. That is ridiculously powerful. And I think this is why Blizzard are so hesitant to straight out buff her, as this is the exact thing that happened with Ana. She started off weak, no one played her, no one liked her. So Blizzard started buffing her clip size. I think it was originally 6, went up to 10. They increased her fire rate, and eventually when people did start working out her strategy and did begin getting good with her, she completely dominated the meta. Her ultimate charged ridiculously fast, and once deployed was an instant teamfight winner. The result was a broken meta system for weeks, as Blizzard began nerfing her before she was finally at a more balanced level. Having a hero who is too weak to be involved in the meta is a lot less problematic than having one who is too strong. But the issue with Sombra is that her strength doesn't lie with her, but more so the team she's with. As we saw in Navi's gameplay, a huge role of Sombra is communicating information back to your team, letting them know who's been hacked, where the enemy are positioned, and what health pack she's hacked, etc, etc. She is not designed to carry the team like other heroes such as Reaper, who can dish out large amounts of damage, has a larger health pool, and can even self-heal through dead enemies. Her strategy is to relay information back to her team, and hope that they can exploit that information. That's what her character is designed around. It even says so here in her origin video.
Information is power.
And we didn't even touch on the fact that Sombra has the ability to see low health enemies silhouetted through walls, and that's not so much for her benefit, as a 50% health diva or a 50% health roadhog could still make short work of Sombra, but more as information serving for the benefit of your team, so they can pick them off, so they can get ult charge, and so you guys can now initiate the 6v5 attack. So to briefly sum up, Sombra can be an incredibly effective hero, but she is very difficult to master, as she involves high awareness, multitasking, quick finger reflexes, and good knowledge of the game through other heroes and map layouts. But most importantly, she relies on you being able to communicate with your team, and for your team to listen to you in return, which if you're solo queuing and people are sticking in their group chats, may not be so easy to accomplish. The problem with buffing Sombra, say in weapon damage and weapon spread to make her more viable on her own in low level solo queues, could really have a knock-on effect when she's used at higher level pro tournaments where communication is common. Having Sombra buffed to where she's playable at low level could have catastrophic effects at high level, and having Sombra buffed to where she's playable in high level could have little to no effect at low level. It's tricky, but I have faith in Blizzard, and I guess for now all we can do is wait for time to do the talking. I do hope to see more of Sombra in the battlefield, but not at a completely overpowered rate. Comment your thoughts on Sombra. Do you think that she could be potentially power enough in her current state? Do you think she does need a buff? And if so, what buffs do you think she needs? Do you think if anything she might need a nerf? Crazy, but you can think that. Do let me know down in the comments section, and until then guys, I will see you in the next one. Take care.